unlearn what you have learned.
Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid.
Away with your weapon. I mean you no harm.
Kill him. Kill him now.
Do it.
You failed me. I am a Jedi. Like my father.
So what's up, everybody? It's Star Wars Talk, and I'm your wonderful host, Colton, and with me is the ever-so-loving Robert Silvinsky.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How's it going?
So we're here today to bring you some... There was new leaks in Battlefront 2. We got the infamous Mark Hamill tweet, and a little bit more info about Episode 8 and the new Han Solo film that's set to come out eventually. So we're just going to start it off with the 79 days till Episode 8, as the day of recording. Why are you staring at me, man?
I am so excited right now.
You had like this crazy look in your eye.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that's little under 3 months.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's crazy. This year has gone so fast.
The year's gone crazily fast, yeah. And it's hard to believe that it's almost been 2 years since we saw The Force Awakens also,
Right?
if you think about it that way. Because while Rogue One was fantastic,
It's still not technically part of a trilogy.
Yeah, it's not part of this trilogy. And it's awesome to think of it this way because back when the prequels were coming out, we had the first one in 99, then it was 2002, then it was 2005. There was 3 years between each one.
Yeah, and there was like nothing in between them either.
There was nothing in between them. Like with the Star Wars we were getting was the films, and I tell you what, I can't freaking wait. I mean, oh geez, I can't wait.
I'll be first in line.
It's pretty interesting. I met a guy online. We were talking podcast stuff.
That's cool.
And
that's hot.
Yeah. Crazy thing about it is he and his friends, they actually do a podcast themselves, and they decided that they are not going to watch any more trailers. They're going to stay away from all podcasts, all news regarding Episode 8. Like, they're going to stay away from it. I couldn't imagine doing that.
No, they're missing out on this really good podcast we have here.
True. But not only that, I mean, whether it's for the podcast or not, like, just being a fan of Star Wars,
Yeah.
I could not possibly just not see that stuff. Look, I'm not like everybody else who's sitting there like, we need a trailer, me, I
You really sold your nerd there.
Thank you. I don't want... I want a trailer. Obviously, I want a trailer. But it's not like I need it now. We've been getting so much stuff over the past couple months. I'm completely content with what we've had so far. When we get the trailer, we get the trailer. I can't wait. But the movie is what I want. Trailers will be fun. TV spots will be great.
But it's not the movie.
But it's not the movie. And the movie, there was never a time prior to Disney buying Lucasfilm that we had a Star Wars movie once a year. And there was never a time when we had an episodic film every 2 years. People, this is such a great time to be a Star Wars fan. It's unbelievable.
It's always a great time to be a Star Wars fan.
True, but this is even more great.
This is just a euphoric rush.
Yes.
So, let's just dive into the starter here, the new Battlefront 2 leaked content. Well, data mined content, I guess, technically. But we got new game modes, different planets, heroes, ships and whatnot.
I haven't looked at this, so you're gonna have to tell me what we got here. Cause...
Oh, I know. I'm hitting you with curves this entire episode. I'm gonna strike you out by the end. So for game modes, we have Heroes versus Villains, Galactic Assault, Starfighter Assault, Strike, and Blast. I'm sure the Heroes versus Villains will play out like the original Battlefront 2 and Battlefront, where it's just all heroes, and
Yeah.
Galactic Assault will probably be like, no, I don't think it was Galactic Assault in the original Battlefront 2, where you're either the CIS or the Republic, and you fly planet to planet, and you have to, obviously win the battle on the planet
to move forward.
Yeah. Starfighter Assault, I'm sure, is probably like a space campaign type thing. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure Strike's probably just the stereotypical team versus team deathmatch thing. Blast is probably like a search and destroy type thing.
Blast that was in the last Battlefront.
Yeah, I'm sure. It wasn't like a search and destroy.
Yeah.
And then we have ground locations. So far we have Hoth, Yavin, Mos Eisley, Bespin, the Death Star, Endor, Takadana?
Takadana,
Yeah.
That was Maz Kanata's.
Yeah. Jakku, Crate, Starkiller Base, Kamino, Naboo, and Kashyyyk.
Crate's interesting because Crate doesn't come out until
Episode 8.
episode 8. So it's interesting to hear that they had that in there. I'm sure that'll be like one of the first downloadable content. That probably won't be at release.
Yes, forgot to mention this. Not all of this stuff will be for release. Most of it will probably be DLC content. Considering it's free, why complain?
Yeah, exactly.
Space battle locations. You have Fondor, the Death Star debris, Resurgent Death Star, or Star Destroyer. Sorry, SKB, Daquar, Ryloth, and Kamino. So those are pretty interesting. That could probably play into the story a little bit.
Possibly.
I would like to see it. You're staring at me, man.
You're talking.
I'm getting stage fright.
I'm looking at you as you talk.
Then campaign locations, which shows that this will more than likely pick up at the end of episode 6, because the first one's confirmed as Endor, Fondor, Pyleo, Vardos, Takadana, Kashyyyk, Bespin, Jakku.
Well, I mean, we know that the storyline takes place after.
Oh, does it? Like,
yeah, like that
almost immediately after episode 6, or
for
during
most
the
part.
ending.
From what we've been told, I from what I believe is you start off on Endor during the battle, and you actually see the Death Star being destroyed.
That would be a sight.
And then they jump forward so many years because Luke Skywalker is going to be in the campaign. There's going to be a moment where you face off against Luke Skywalker, you see him or something like that, and so it jumps up, a number of years. And if you've read the Shattered Empire Aftermath, the Aftermath books,
Which I have not.
you know that the Empire sticks around for quite some time, trying to fix everything that they've lost after the Battle of Endor, and it's not immediate that the Empire falls. There is a number of years that go by until the Empire actually falls completely at the Battle of Jakku. So we have probably a good 4 or 5 years right there, that they could jump around with, stuff like that. No, even more probably. I can't remember the amount of years, but I'm sure there's a good amount of years there.
And then late side here is confirmed. We have Han, Luke, Leia, Chewie, Lando, Finn, Rey, and Yoda.
We knew Yoda was going to be there.
Yeah, he was already in pretty much all of the promotional stuff.
The few promotions that we've gotten, he's been there because they show him fighting Darth Maul. But Lando's an interesting one.
Yeah, that's what I thought
Interesting
too.
to see Lando.
He's probably going to be a Bespin,
Oh, probably. Yeah.
or maybe a Millennium Falcon player.
Possibly. Maybe.
Question mark?
Be cool if whenever you were in the Millennium Falcon, you can choose between Han or Lando, and they actually whenever you radio over something, like if you did radio or something like that. I don't know how the game system's going to work, but if there's a use of a radio, or if you hear people talking during it, it's one of their voices. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be attention to detail.
Yeah.
Then with the heroes, you have their vehicles. Millennium Falcon, which is Han Solo, but I'm sure
Maybe. Yeah.
DLC or whatnot, they could fix it. Red 5, Black 1, Millennium Falcon Rey.
Well, yeah, that's...
And then Yoda Starfighter, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Yoda Starfighter is essentially just a Jedi Starfighter.
Yeah,
so.
but it's going to be green.
Is it?
I don't know, but it would be cool. That's how I'd picture it. I would picture it as green.
with a Kermit the Frog bumper sticker.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
It's not easy being green.
Somewhere over the rainbow. No, that wasn't.
That's definitely not.
No, wait. What song was I trying to sing? Well, you just saw a mental lapse happen on the remote control. So, me not trying to ad-lib anything anymore. We're going to go back to the light side vehicle. Just broke Bob, broke myself. You have the original X-Wing, A-Wing, Y-Wing, a T-47, an X-Wing, or words, why can't I think of, from episode 7, the new trilogy X-Wings, because apparently they're different.
They're X-Wings. That's all they're called, are X-Wings. They're
Yeah.
just new.
Yeah, newer model, I guess, technically. I would be, whatever, formalities.
Resistance X-Wings.
Yes, there's the word I was looking for. Then you have V-Wings, N1 Starfighter, an LAAT, and a Wookiee catamaran, which is little things that they fly on in Episode 3, which is pretty cool. The only other time you could fly one of those was in Lego Star Wars. A Complete Saga? I think. If it wasn't the Complete... It was whatever one you can go to Lego City, you built like 100 gold bricks in. I think it was either the original trilogy or the Complete Trilogy. One of the two. And the ground vehicles for the light side, you have the X-34 Landspeeder, the Rebel ATRT, 74-Z speeder bike, and a Republic ATRT, which is pretty cool. I don't think that's anything new, though. Like, I think most of it was in one of the Battlefronts from the past. And special units, you have a Rebel Jump Trooper, Resistance Jump Trooper, Clone Jump Trooper, an ARC Trooper, and Wookiee Warriors, which is interesting. I'm glad that they're bringing in, like, the planet-unique fighting, like, fighters. Like, Wookiees, Gungans. I'm sure you can find something on Bespin, like, Ugnaughts. Yeah, Ugnaughts. You know, it's nice to see that they're, like, bringing in the natives from different planets to fight. And then, as for the light side, there's also a dark side. Boy, that's stunning news. You got... Life's gonna suck. Dark side heroes. You got Vader, Palpatine, Boba Fett, Bosk, Iden Versio, the main character for the story campaign.
Oh, okay.
Phasma, Maul, and Kylo, which is interesting that Phasma and Bosk are both in it.
Bosk?
Yeah, like the bounty hunter.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Like maybe he's Lando's counterpart. Since I'm sure every hero is going to have their own, like, villain.
Counterpart, villain.
So I'm sure, like, oh, we threw Lando in. We didn't really think this through. Then Dark Side heroes, vehicles, you have the Slave 1, the Boba Fett version. TIE Advance, TIE Silencer, the Scimitar, the Slave 1 Jango version, which is weird. I find, like, Jango's still not confirmed for this game yet. Or even data mined yet.
He'll probably be in the game.
I crossed my fingers. Forgot we weren't on camera. Vehicles, you got all the TIEs, Vulture droids, Tri-Fighters, you know, the stereotypical stuff you see in fighters. You know, ground vehicles, you have all the, you know, the AT&T, or AT&T, AT-ATs, ATSTs.
The Sprint, the Verizon, the T-Mobile.
Yeah. All of the carriers. And then you have, like, the AATs and you know, the CIS ground vehicles. And special units are basically the same as the Republic. And then you have the droids, like the Flame Trooper, Bomb Trooper, and whatnot. But that's pretty much all that's been found for Battlefront 2. I'm glad you stuck around for that struggle. That was pretty rough. Even for me. So, but starting out, I want to start putting quotes or little little, you know, quotes or parts of a movie that I found pretty interesting. So this week, I found one that I think you would like, Bob. I'm going to turn up my volume here a little bit.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness! You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
So Bob.
Oh, God, I love that movie.
I know you're a huge fan of that scene. I think
yeah.
really any Star Wars fan's a huge fan of that scene. I noticed you had your eyes closed.
Yes.
What does that scene do to you?
I mean, I'm picturing the scene. Like, literally, once you...
Well, I know you were mouthing the words and all. Like, you were going in. But what emotion does that strike for you?
I mean, I remember sitting in the theater because, like, at that moment there, I closed my eyes. I take myself back to the first time that I saw that scene and I witnessed it. Because for me, the first... Like, we knew it was coming. We knew that this battle between Anakin and Obi-Wan was going to happen. I was 18 years old. 18 when that came, 19 when this movie came out. And, I mean, for the longest time, you know, I when I was a kid, you know, they talk about the Clone Wars and A New Hope and everything like that. And then you're always wondering, like, what was the Clone Wars? Well, we got that. But you heard... Not in the trilogy, not in Star Wars, you didn't hear about the battle between Obi-Wan and Anakin, except for the moment where, you know, Anakin or Darth Vader, you know, hunted down the Jedi and killed your father. Like, that's all that's really said, you know. A pupil of mine who turned to the dark side. That's all you really hear about it. So I wanted to know what it was all about. And we knew that there was going to be a lightsaber battle because there was concept art years ago and stuff like that for all of this, and there was talk about it. So for me, I mean, I was looking forward to it. So I sit there and I close my eyes and I just sit there and think about back at the time when I was sitting in the theater watching this scene and the chills that I had running through me. The emotion that I had was just like, I was in awe. I was, my stomach was turning because to me, Ewan McGregor,
he sold the part.
He sold that so well. You know, whether you're like me and agree whether or not that the two sold their relationship in the two movies they were in or not, he sold it. You know, Ewan McGregor was, you're my brother Anakin, I loved you, you know, and Anakin just a moment prior saying, I hate you. Like, that hurts because, you know, you sit there and you think about, you know, this relationship that they had. It was a father-son relationship. That not just that, but they were best friends and brothers. And it just, Anakin got to a point, his mind was so twisted that he wanted what he wanted. It didn't matter about his friends or his family. All that mattered was him being the most powerful person ever, you know. To Obi-Wan, it's not what it was about. Obi-Wan wanted to save him. He wanted to bring him back, and he was too far gone and he couldn't do it. And you know, at that moment, Obi-Wan believes that he killed his brother, that he killed his best friend. To me, that's just like, that's gut really. Could you imagine killing your best friend?
I'd have to have friends to begin with.
So that's kind of what happens for me. Like, you know, it's a very emotional scene. It might be one of the most emotional scenes in all of Star Wars. So
I like the scene. It topped off the original, or not the original, the prequel trilogy just perfectly fine. Like, perfectly. Yeah. Like, you see Anakin go from being innocent to rebellious teenager to what the hell just happened to him.
Yeah. I also look at it like this. Look at the effects that they did. That was grotesque. Like, what happened to Anakin there. Like, that was part of my shock was, holy crap, they went there. You know,
like it was all on scene, like they are all on camera, like they did not shy away from his burning body.
I mean, he wasn't really burned, but,
well, you know.
But yeah, I mean, what they did, like what they showed, the special effects, the makeup that they put on him, it's grotesque, and you know that's, I think, one of the reasons that it wasn't shock to be shock. It was shock to be like, look, this is a hero that
literally has just fallen.
You grew up with this guy. You know, especially you.
Yeah,
you know,
I legitimately grew up with him.
You legitimately grew up with Anakin Skywalker. And seeing that happen, I can only imagine for you seeing your hero die, like, or
9 years old.
Not die, but, you know.
No, he died. Yeah, Anakin technically died.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, imagine how I felt at 9 years old. It's actually one of the reasons I started writing, was that scene itself.
Yeah.
Just the power of it. Just the writing, the cinematic view of it, just the actor's portrayal of it. It was just a beautiful scene, and that's why I do what I do now. Fun fact.
Bartend at a casino.
Yeah. I do a shot called "I hate you," and it's 2 cups of tequila, like 2 16-ounce glasses. Anyway, we really got off topic there. So we're gonna go back, and the Star Wars Twitter has been blowing up, hinting leaks towards a trailer.
Why would that be? Like, I don't understand. Like, why would there be leaks? You know, it's not like somebody went and spouted something out on Twitter.
Right? But before we get there, the Star Wars page did post one of a GIF, maybe? Or maybe it was just a looped video,
It's a looped video,
of Rey's hand and the rocks floating around it. And it said, "Almost here."
Yes.
And then, a couple days later, Mark Hamill was like, "Hey, watch Monday Night Football on
October 9th for no specific reason."
Yeah, for no specific reason.
No, originally what happened is there was somebody that messaged Mark Hamill and said, "Hey, do you know anything about a trailer?" Something like that. And he goes, "If I were you, I'd watch Monday Night Football on October 9th for no specific reason at all." And
yeah.
As much as I've been saying it for the last 6 months.
Yeah, you've been preaching.
I've been saying, this. People, it's going to go just like The Force Awakens. They did it during a Monday Night Football in October. It was early October. They did it on a Monday Night Football. I said that's what they did for The Force Awakens, and immediately after the tickets went on sale. The fact that Mark Hamill said this was like, no crap. I've been saying it for 6 months. But then there's a little twist.
He deleted it. He deleted his tweet.
It's funny because I used the remote control Twitter account, I think the next day. Yeah. Because I screenshot that stuff, dude. I screenshot it.
You were fully prepared to blast it. And
the next day, I took that screenshot, tweeted it to Mark Hamill, and said, "How is this not national news?" Because if you think about it, how is it not national news? Well,
no one took it serious.
Not only did no one take it serious, but the announcement didn't come from Lucasfilm or Disney.
Yeah.
And
watch it actually happen.
It's going to.
On October 9th.
That's why I think he took his tweet down. Think about it this way, okay? There's the little loop video that they said that it's almost here with Rey's hand. Is it so hard to believe that Mark Hamill and probably the rest of the cast were told, look, this is how things are going to happen. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. This is how the marketing is going to go. So you guys can say this up until this point. After that, you can start talking a little about this. After this point, you can start talking a little about that. All right? That's not hard to believe with a movie like this where actors would be told, look, you can only say this much now, then you can say this much later, because not only is the marketing all in trailers and posters and toys, but it's about the actors talking about it. All right, but you don't want to reveal too much too early. That's why a lot of times you won't see actors and actresses go on the late night, circuit until
it's almost out.
It's almost out, like a week to 2 weeks before it's out, because that's when they're like, all right, here's our big marketing push. You guys can go ahead and talk about this stuff now. So it's not hard to believe that they're not in the loop.
Yeah, and actually it is a perfect example of that. They did not put Pennywise in any of the promotions any more than they really had to.
Oh, yeah.
Because they want him to be as mysterious and scary as they could.
But, I mean, I'm from getting back into the Star Wars aspect of things, everything is so top secret. So I'm sure they have everything completely planned out. Like, they probably know what news is getting out what day. That GIF or that loop video that they had on Twitter was probably planned 6 months ago.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's really not even new footage. It's just from what we already have.
Exactly. But again, that's probably been planned for some time now. So if you think about it, these actors and actresses in the movie probably have an idea, know what is coming out when. All right. It's just the way it is.
Common knowledge.
Exactly.
Everybody should know.
Exactly. Is it so hard to believe that they maybe told Mark Hamill and he either A, took it the wrong way, or B, thought that loop video being posted was the okay that, like, hey, there's a trailer coming? Because maybe Mark Hamill was the one that was supposed to announce it, and maybe he thought that that was his cue. That was his cue. It's not. It's a very good possibility. My guess is something like that happened. Maybe he thought, oh wow, they're showing that. That means It's almost here. It's okay to say this. And if you think about it, the tweet doesn't really say anything.
Yeah, no, it just gives you a
Because
day.
he doesn't say anything about the trailer. It's just some guy like, hey, when's the trailer coming out? We want to know. And he's like, I'd watch Monday Night Football on October 9th for no specific reason at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't say trailer. He doesn't say Star Wars in his tweet or anything,
He's just like, just watch it. You'll see some shit.
Exactly. Now, people like me and you and other people who are smart and not all like, why don't we have trailer?
Yeah.
And understand that there's a process to it, will stop and think and say, hey, The Force Awakens was on a Monday Night Football game.
Hey. Now it's making sense.
Exactly. So I think that's why he removed it, because it was too early to report. I think it's probably something that I would say probably within the next 5 days. I'd say by October 1st, we're going to see something on TV. It says, tune in Monday Night Football, October 9th, for a special look at Star Wars The Last Jedi.
That is 2 weeks from now, by the way.
Yeah, the 9th?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm saying probably by the end of this week, we're going to get something that says watch October 9th. Only because they're going to say tickets will go on sale immediately after as well. With that said, I just want to say this here because, I am the runner of TRC and everything here. We are, if the trailer is being released that day, we are going to figure out a way to live stream us on YouTube while the trailer comes on. We will be live on YouTube for that, so keep that in mind.
And Facebook and wherever else we can go live.
Yeah, anywhere that we can go live, we will be live for that. Obviously, I don't want you sitting there and watching us watch the damn trailer. Sorry for the swears, but watch the trailer. But then you can jump back and watch our reaction to the trailer, our immediate reactions right after the trailer, everything like that.
We're going to have 14 cameras, literally watching us for 4 hours while we watch the game waiting for the trailer.
No, not exactly. But yeah, we'll definitely have the camera on, and we'll probably just sit on my couch here with the camera on us, and we'll probably just talk Star Wars until it happens. So, if you want to tune in, watch us while we talk about Star Wars until it happens. And then once it happens, we'll do our immediate reactions and such. So keep that in mind, that will happen. That's as long as it does happen on a Monday, because we're both off on Mondays, everything like that. So we'll be able to do it then.
It'll work out better.
Yeah.
But that's been one of the biggest things that's happened in Star Wars so far this week. Well, it is the biggest thing that's happened in Star Wars this week.
You think that's the biggest? Because there was some other news that came out.
Well, let me tell you about it. But before that, did you know in 1998, on this day, September 25th, StarWars.com announced the title of Episode 1 would be The Phantom Menace.
Phantom Menace. I remember, it was about this time. When was the first trailer? Do we have a...
Oh, I honestly...
See if you can do that, because I remember the first trailer coming out, and God bless my mother. Because I was a huge Star Wars fan. I was 13 years old. 12 years old at the time. I was 12 years old in 1998. Again, God bless my mother.
I was
because
2.
My mom saw that on the Today Show or Good Morning America, or one of those shows, that probably was Good Morning America, that they were going to show the first trailer for The Phantom Menace in the morning. And obviously Good Morning America is on in the morning. And where does a 12-year-old boy have to be at 8 in the morning? He's got to be in school. So my mom, being the awesome mom that she is, actually kept me home from school. Well, not kept me home from school. She actually drove me to school that afterwards. But she let me stay home and go into school late to watch the trailer.
The first teaser trailer was November 13th, 1998.
So it was November 13th. I think I talked about this in maybe an article I wrote or something like that when we were celebrating the 40th anniversary of Star Wars. But that's one of my fondest memories. My favorite memories of Star Wars was literally my mom allowing me to stay home and go into school late to watch a trailer for Star Wars. And it was one of the coolest things that I ever imagined, or ever lived through. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that it's been that long since they did the
I don't
title.
even have any memories during that time. I remember the first time I was allowed to stay home from school for Star Wars. And I was the 14th person to see Star Wars, the animated Clone Wars series film.
Yeah.
In theaters. My mom let me take the day off from school to see it.
That's pretty cool.
On release day.
That's cool. I didn't see that until that's one of the few. There's 2 Star Wars movies I've never gotten to see in the theater: Return of the Jedi and that.
Why not Return of the Jedi?
Because I was a bad kid. My mom punished me and didn't take me.
you praise her, and then you make her look bad.
No, because when they re-released the special edition, they had the special editions out in '97, and every few months they were
Was that
releasing
with?
them.
Oh no, never
So,
mind. That
yeah.
wouldn't be with the new land or
I
Hayden
saw
Christensen.
I saw A New Hope twice. I saw The Empire Strikes Back twice.
You're showing your age.
And then I was going to see Return of the Jedi twice. And the first time that my mom was going to take me that weekend, I was supposed to like clean my room or something. I don't know what I was supposed to do, but I didn't do it. And my mom was like, I wasn't bluffing. You're not going to see it. I never got a chance to go see it in theaters. Yeah.
Could have just cleaned your room.
I don't remember what it was, but
no, that was the first one I saw in theaters. I saw episode 2 in the drive-in.
you didn't see episode 3 in the theater?
I'm trying to remember. I think I did.
Man. My brother took me to see episode 1 on opening day.
I was too young for episode 1.
Episode 2, my mom took me, my friend Alex, and my friend Jordan to go see it that Saturday. It came out Friday. We went to go see it that Saturday. And then I went to the midnight release of episode 3 with Jordan and my friend Dan. And then we went to Eaton Park afterward and sat there and talked about it for 2 hours sitting in Eaton Park.
No, I can't say much. I've done that. I honestly don't remember if I saw episode 3 in theaters. I'd like to think I did. I don't see why I wouldn't have, because everybody knows I'm a huge Star Wars fan. But no, I just found that was an interesting fact for on this day in Star Wars history.
It is very interesting.
Maybe I'll start that as a segment.
Yeah, hey, you got 2 segments that you did today that I've really enjoyed so far, and I hope the fans enjoy it because I thought it was pretty cool.
Hey, yeah, those were when you were sitting on the couch yelling at me that you were ready to record. I was like, hold on.
Well, you said you were ready 4 hours ago.
Well, I had these ideas and I wanted to hurry up and throw them there. But anyway, so we got a couple spoilers, ? They're more like character bios and informational characters. They're not really spoilers for episode 8. But well, no, I guess this one could be considered a spoiler. There has been rumored to be a possible resistance evac in the beginning of the movie, somewhat similar to Hoth, which, as described, the resistance won the battle but not the war, and now the First Order knows where they are hiding. Evacuation will likely be the order of the day, and the resistance will have to find a new home to set up for the coming struggle. They will look to General Organa for guidance. So, I'm assuming that's what the speeders in the beginning kicking up the red dust. I can't think of what they're called off the top of my head right now, but I'm sure that's pretty much probably the beginning of the movie, and when Poe's X-Wing explodes and all that chaos from the trailer that we've seen. Then we have Vice Admiral Amelin Haldo. Sorry, I can't talk today. But she's a human female from Galtanlenta. Yeah, no, this is a struggle. I can't pronounce these words. In her youth, she served as the apprentice legislator of the Imperial Senate, where she became acquainted with Princess Leia Organa of Alderaan. During her time as apprentice legislator, Haldo became friends with Organa, who confided with her about the involvement of the rebellion against the Galactic Empire. Later, by year 34 ABY, Haldo became vice admiral in Organa's resistance during its war with the First Order. So she's basically just a political figure. That's pretty much Leia's right-hand person.
Isn't she the one that died in The Force Awakens?
No.
Okay.
She's older. That was interesting that they didn't include like most of her scenes except for her exploding.
In the book.
Yeah.
There's a lot more of her in the book.
I was just surprised they didn't put it in the
because she was
film.
like her right hand.
Yeah.
Woman in the book. You learn about that. Like, she's the one. She was like the political face because General Leia stepped away from being the political face after everybody found out that her father was Darth Vader and stuff like that. She stepped away, and then they thought she was crazy because she was saying, "Hey, the First Order's out there," and like, "You're crazy. They're not a threat." So she stepped away, and the person, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I can't think of her name either.
Stepped in basically her place, but
Yeah, she's in the person we're talking about in the one scene right before Starkiller Base destroys like 15 planets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was surprised that like even in like maybe an extended edition or something that we don't see the scenes, because didn't they film scenes with her in him?
Yeah, well, they filmed a whole bunch. We're never going to get an extended edition, I don't think. Or if we are, it's going to be like The Force Awakens Special Edition, and
Yeah, which I will gladly buy.
I mean, I'll buy it too, but
because we're that bad.
yeah.
So, and then the last person we have is Rose Tycho.
Okay.
Rose serves as a technician in the Resistance. She is tough, smart, and loyal, but she has a tragic past that she prefers to keep hidden. Thrown together by a twist of fate, Rose and Finn will be spending a lot of time in each other's company.
Yeah, I mean, we've known about Rose. They announced her at Star Wars Celebration. Not much that's not much new.
I'm interested to see what they do about her tragic past. I want to see how that's going to affect the story of her and Finn.
Who do you think's going to play?
Way to go, Bob.
Who do you think's going to play the Lando role in, like, here they are, and like turn on them and then turn back, like be a double agent almost type of thing?
Probably Benicio del Toro's character.
Hopefully something like that.
As much as I'd like to say it, I think it's going to be Benicio del Toro's character.
No, we talked about it last week. I think Benicio del Toro. I think we're being bamboozled with him. I really do. I don't think he's going to be that big of a character. I know there's a lot of people who think he's going to be a big character. I've heard some other podcasters and people say, "Oh, he's gonna be a big threat from now until the end of this saga or the end of this trilogy." I have this weird, funny feeling.
I honestly don't.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
I just had a seizure of excitement. But honestly though, I think he's going to be the Lando character. He's going to have, because you just can't bring in Benicio del Toro and be like, "Hey, you're a side character."
Yeah.
He's gonna be like a minor character in the films. He's probably going to be in episode 9 for all of 5 minutes.
Flying the Millennium Falcon for the third Death Star, fourth. Death Star.
Which I hope is not coming. Please do not bring me a fourth Death Star. So that's pretty much about all we have for episode 8. There's nothing real, I'm hinting to that. Calm down. Oh, and also we found out that porgs are basically chickens of the Star Wars universe, which is really saddening.
My guess is they're probably good with barbecue sauce.
See, I'm a ranch person. I put ranch on everything. But anyway, so it has been rumored that Darth Vader will make a cameo appearance in the Han Solo film.
Han Solo.
How do you feel about that?
Okay.
Because I don't want it at all.
All right. Here's my feelings on it. I'm curious to how they're going to utilize Han. Because Han Solo, if they take a storyline where he was a stormtrooper or part of the Imperial forces at some point, I would be perfectly fine if Han is a young kid in line and standing there being told orders and Darth Vader walks by.
Yeah, that's
cool.
That's the only way that will be appropriate.
I'm okay with that. Or maybe, he's smuggling something and the Empire's trying to stop them, and it just so happens that there's Darth Vader's ship right there. And there's just this little quick scene where, the captain of the ship is like, "Lord Vader, we have this ship on the run, blah, 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 whatever, and he goes, and he's just like, "Forget about it. We don't need to worry about that." And they move forward, and it's on their way to Scarif.
Yeah.
If it's something like that, fine. I'm okay with that. I don't want to see him come in with his lightsaber out. I don't want him using the Force. I don't want there to be anything more than a small cameo. A small cameo is okay with me if done properly. Again, I don't want Han and Vader to ever see each other face to face.
Yeah.
To me, because that kind of ruins everything. Because that whole scene in Empire, or not even Empire, and even in A New Hope, when he sees Vader for the first time in A New Hope across the way fighting Obi-Wan. Besides that, it would be weird if he didn't say, "Oh yeah, I know him. He's strong with the Force."
He didn't have a one-liner right there.
Exactly. So that would kind of be dumb. So a cameo, I'm okay with. Short cameo, if they can do it right, perfectly fine with it. I don't want them to stick him in there because he was received so well in Rogue One.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them do something like that.
That's what I think's going to happen. They're going to, the train wreck that is the movie, and I'm sure they've rewritten parts and they fixed what was wrong with it. I fear that they're going to use him to drive the story. They're going to use Vader as a major character in the film, and they're going to use him just to carry the film to make it not a complete failure. That's what I fear, and that's what I feel like is probably going to happen.
I mean, isn't the report? I'm pretty sure the report was simply some guy was on set and he just said, "I saw Vader, or I saw somebody in a Vader outfit." It wasn't even like they saw him on set; they just saw him near where the filming was going on in the Vader outfit. So with that said, I mean, it could have been screen testing for another coming film. It could have been something, because we don't know. So we don't know for a fact. It's simply a rumor that he could be in the movie. If you're asking if I think he should be in there in a cameo, absolutely. Small as long as it fits. I don't want him in anything bigger than a cameo, though.
Yeah, like I just feel like they're going to use him as the driving force.
Honestly, if there was no words by him, that would be even better.
Just a...
Yeah. Exactly.
That'd be pretty cool, but I think he's going to be a driving force if he's in the film. And I don't want that at all. So, also with the Han Solo film, Ron Howard, who has been just doing his own thing with pictures on his personal accounts and everything, has taken pictures of the Kessel Spice Mines.
There you go.
That, we hear so often the Millennium Falcon can do.
Because Han Solo made the Kessel Run in, 14 parsecs?
12.
It was a joke because of the Force Awakens.
I know, and we did the lines. But yeah, no, they like all the references to the Kessel Spice Mines we're probably going to see in this film.
I mean, that this is the time to do it.
Exactly.
Look,
but we're actually physically seeing it now.
The Han Solo film has to do this. For it to be a success, it needs to
not exist.
It needs to be its own movie. No more than one. We don't need a trilogy of Han Solo films. It needs to be one, and it needs to just say, all right, this is the Kessel Run. This is what he did. This is how he did it in 12 parsecs. Anything like that. That's what we need to see. We need to see how he got the Millennium Falcon. We need to see what happened between him and Lando. Those are the things we need to see in this movie. If you can't get that all in this movie, then we should never see it. Because I don't want a second one. I don't want a third one. I don't want a prequel of the Han Solo film, young Han Solo.
I didn't want the first one.
So I think this is where we need to do it. And look, we know that you all know probably that we're not hugely excited about this Han Solo film. I'm excited about a Star Wars movie. I'm excited. I'm going to go see it on opening night that weekend.
But what separates this from every other one is I'm probably not going to pre-order a ticket, being honest. If I can show up and there's still tickets available, I'll see it one of the early premieres. I'm not going to see it probably no more than 2 times in theaters.
That's not even how it is for me. It's just simply like, look, I don't want to see a Han Solo film. I don't. Like, if it was Harrison Ford doing it, absolutely.
Oh, that's because it's Harrison Ford.
But, and nothing against Alden Ehrenreich. I'm not saying that it's because he's a bad actor or anything. It's just Han Solo is Harrison Ford to me, and that's what I want to see. And not only that, I just don't think that these are stories that need to be told. But if you're
right now.
But if you're going to tell them, then tell the stories that we want to know.
Yeah.
And that's how did he do the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs? How did he get the Falcon? Why is
how
he
did he
in Lando?
meet Chewie?
Which we may even get that,
Because that was never described.
So I'm okay with it. So do what they need to do. Hopefully it's done well. Ron Howard has been exciting me. He has
Ron
been with
Howard
his tweets.
Has definitely turned my... I still don't really want the film, but he's definitely kind of... maybe I'll see it once, twice.
Yeah, he's doing the right thing. He's done a hell of a job with the marketing.
And damage control.
And everything like that. So I'm okay, the vision... the tweets of Paul Bettany... was great. He tweets out the pictures of Chewie. He tweeted out a picture of Donald Glover. He's doing these tweets that just like, you know what? You're making me excited because you're excited about it.
Yeah.
So.
But that's still a touchy subject. I don't really want it. And one more thing before episode 8, because I didn't put it with the rest of my episode 8 notes. Snoke will not meet Leia in episode 8. Snoke and Leia will never come face to face.
I'm not surprised. To me, it sounds like Snoke is going to play a very similar role to the Emperor, where he's back in the shadows.
Yeah, he's not going to be used any more than he has to be.
Exactly. So that's kind of the way I look at it. So I'm not surprised by that.
It was confirmed by Andy Serkis, by the way.
I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't even see Snoke and Luke on the screen at the same time. We may not see that either, because the main driving force of this trilogy is Kylo and Rey. And while Luke is going to be there, Luke is kind of the mentor for Rey. Snoke is the mentor for Kylo. The mentors don't need to meet. There's no reason for them. Story-wise, as we're looking at it right now, there's no reason. There may be a reason in The Last Jedi where we're like, okay, now it makes sense for them to meet. But at this point, it doesn't, because what we want to see is the growth and the development of these two characters, Rey and Kylo. That's what we want to see. So, I mean, that's okay. I'm excited to see Snoke on screen, finally see him in the flesh, but... I mean, with not being on screen with Leia, the greatest thing that I think they did, one of the greatest things they did in The Force Awakens, was Leia mentioning Snoke. That's what I really liked, that, she made a mention that, Snoke is the reason for what is happening. It's Snoke. So the fact that, she made the mention there, I don't need to see them on screen. What is she going to do? Slap him across the face? You took my son! That's just...
Pulls out a rolling pin, chases him around on a Star Destroyer. Gunfire going off around him. Lasers are hitting everywhere.
Like one of those old black and white...
Police chases, yes. No, but instead of that song, it's just the Mos Eisley's Cantina song. But yeah, no, that would be something to see. I would love to see a deleted scene of that. We should record that one time.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure Robot Chicken will do it.
Please, Seth Green, if you hear us. But and also. Before we get to this last piece here, I have a question for you, Bob.
You have a question for me?
I have a Q&A for you.
Q&A.
One Q, though.
One Q?
Yes.
Do I need to give you an A?
You give me the A. Now, I'm going to ask you to retell 3.5 films here.
Okay.
What would have taken place if Anakin never turned to the dark side of the Force?
What would have taken place?
Yes.
If he didn't turn to the dark side? Palpatine would have been defeated. There would have been no Empire. The Jedi Order would have continued rolling, or not rolling, but would have continued thriving. That's the word I'm looking for, thriving, as, more Jedi would come into play. Luke and Leia probably would have been born. Probably both would have been trained in the Force. Anakin may have been kicked out of the Jedi Order because of his relationship with Padme. I mean, that's, just spitballing. That's some quick things I can think of there.
Man, you didn't even make up a story. I'll give my perspective, even though it's just like a Q&A thing, but I'll turn it into a discussion. I'm working on segments. This is a live action thing we're doing. But I would like to think that Palpatine wouldn't have revealed himself to anybody if he knew at that point in episode 3 that Anakin was not susceptible to falling to the dark side. He would have kept being his friend and playing like the buddy thing and trying to persuade him, and not just outright being like, use my knowledge, I beg of you.
Yeah, it's tough though, because I mean, I don't even think, because even up to the point where Palpatine reveals himself to Anakin, I think there's still a part of Palpatine that's not 100% sure that Anakin's on board with it, and that's even shown whenever he goes, he starts telling him about it, and Anakin pulls out his lightsaber and he's like, "It's you. You're the Sith that we're looking for," and Palpatine is still trying to mend his mind right there, and he doesn't succeed at that moment. It's still Anakin goes and tells the Jedi Council. He goes and tells Mace Windu, like, "I figured it out. This is who it is," and Anakin himself knows that he should not be there. He should not be the one to take him down. That it has to be somebody else from the Jedi Order, because he can't do it. He's not strong enough to do it. That's why he goes and tells them. And it isn't until he starts to see his friend dying, Palpatine, because that's what he sees him as. He sees him as a friend. He doesn't see him as a potential mentor. He sees him as a friend. He sees him as somebody who has been there to help him
Since
through
day
every aspect of his life, every disagreement he's ever had, anything. He's been there for him. And it was only at that moment where he saves his life. When he saves his life by killing Mace Windu, that is when Anakin is at that point, and he goes, I can't go back now. Like, to him, he can't go back. You know, he's, what have I done? You know, what have I done? He falls down, and he's like, I've completely gone against my convictions to save a friend who's deceived me this entire time. So do I trust him, or do I beg for forgiveness? And then what gets into play is his love for Padme and saving her. And he allows that emotion to come up more than his conviction for the Jedi Order. That there's what turns him. So the idea that Palpatine wouldn't have revealed himself, I don't think that's the case. I don't think there was ever a moment where Palpatine was 100% sure that Anakin would turn himself over to him and become a dark
Lord of
the Sith. Yeah.
I think he would have revealed himself because I'm sure the whole, after Obi-Wan killed Grievous, they would have came to Palpatine's door and be like, you have to step down. You are not the Senate. And, you know, the whole 4 Jedi, you know, playing the precaution way.
Yeah.
And he would have revealed himself and killed everybody, and then turned Order 66, wiped out as many Jedi as he could, and then pretty much, you know, marched on the Jedi Temple almost the same way.
Here's the thing, though. I think Order 66 wouldn't have been as damaging as it was.
Yeah, it would not have been as detrimental to the Order as it
because
was.
I think we would have seen a lot more Jedi survive. And I mean, you make a good point, because Order 66 probably still would have taken place. I don't know why I didn't think of that. That probably would take place.
The Purge still would have happened.
The Purge would have began. And, I mean, Palpatine would have gotten another apprentice somehow.
Yeah, I'm sure he would have went to the temple, found someone fit, turned him, and...
Yeah, if there wasn't already somebody in the shadows.
Yeah.
You know? And he probably would have gotten another apprentice, and he probably would have still hunted the Sith, or the Jedi, but we wouldn't have seen an empire, though.
Yeah, no, the Republic would have, if not,
it would have become
unified more.
Yeah, it would have been the Republic against the Sith. There would have become like another Sith war, I think, something like that.
And then that would be Luke and Leia's journey through 4, 5, and 6.
That'd be
would
different.
be the Sith Wars.
Be kind of cool.
I'm glad we turned it into a discussion and not a Q&A. But no, that was just a question I thought of too when I was looking up quotes for the episode.
Yeah.
I thought, oh hey, we can do a little bit of movie boot, you know.
Kinda, yeah.
Discuss a couple topics. But the last bit of news we have is, as of the 22nd, The Last Jedi Final Cut has been completed. The movie is done.
So why don't they just release it?
I wonder the same thing.
That's great news. I mean, here's the thing that makes me really happy about this. It's done.
Yeah.
That means it's sitting on a shelf until December.
Yeah, just waiting.
You know, it's just waiting at this point. And that means there's been no issues. I mean, you take a look at The Force Awakens. They did not get their final cut done until like a week before the movie came out.
Really?
You know, I mean, they were pushing it there. You know, they were pushing it. Rogue One, very, very similar situation because of all the reshoots they did. You know, they went up till the last few weeks until they had their final cut. We're still 2 months away, 3 months away.
And The Last Jedi's done.
And Last Jedi's done, waiting to be shown to the world.
Which makes even more sense why October 9th would be a good time for the trailer.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know they probably have the rest of the trailers all worked out. People, you know, it's funny because I sit there and look on Facebook and they're like, oh, if the movie's finished, that means they can make a trailer. No, you know what? This trailer that's coming out next has been done for months.
Was while the film was still being filmed.
Yeah, I mean, most of these things, these TV spots, everything, people don't understand that this marketing machine that is Lucasfilm and Disney
has had that done long before
all
it came
this
out.
stuff is figured out. They know what day, at what time things are dropping, and they have a strategy to do all of it. This isn't something that they're just like, let's throw this out. Let's throw this out.
Yeah.
No, this is all done strategically.
This is a group of 15 people
this
sitting in a
trailer's
closet.
been done. The music has been added to it. It's probably been sitting on the shelf for a few weeks itself, just sitting there waiting to be released. All the TV spots are probably just waiting to be sent out to all the TV networks.
Yep.
Like, here you go. This is when you can start playing them. All of this stuff is there waiting. So at this point, like, literally all Lucasfilm is doing is there when it comes to episode 8 is just marketing. That's it. Like the filming's done, the trailers are done, the music is done, everything is done. At this point,
we wait.
it's just them pushing the marketing. And like I said, you know, Force Friday, the beginning of September, was in my eyes the beginning of the push for marketing. We've got that. We had the Empire magazine covers. Next is the trailer.
Yeah.
And that's going to be October. The trailer, as well as the tickets are going on sale. That's going to be October. Come November, we're going to start getting all the TV spots.
Yep.
We'll have the international trailer probably the end of October, beginning of November. I'm telling you guys, it's a great time to be alive. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan, and things are just getting amped up because right after The Last Jedi comes out in December, it's going to start the marketing push for the Han Solo film.
Yep.
So, it's a great time.
And then we have to patiently wait a year and a half.
A year and a half for episode, but I'm okay with that.
Or 2 years, depending on how awful the Han Solo film is.
No. Why would it be 2 years? They wouldn't.
Well,
push
because
it back. They wouldn't.
No,
push...
they wouldn't push it back. But if it's not a good film, that's gonna kind of.
Yeah, but either way, it's a Star Wars film, so we'll have a year and a half to wait because
It's still gonna be poop.
Star Wars. No, I'm excited. I just hope I just wish they could release the movie. Like, hey, it's done. Hey, you guys want to see it? Here you go.
Yeah, no,
it'll still make the same amount of money either way.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool if we could, get it tomorrow. Like, can we please get it tomorrow?
I do want to say this because I know we're going to be wrapping up here shortly. I do want to just say that prior to The Last Jedi being released, we are going to do a Force Awakens commentary, just so we can get back in the swing of things, just remember all of that. So it'll probably be after the trailer releases. It'll probably be sometime within the next month or so. We'll shoot. Halloween's kind of a busy month October's a busy month with Halloween because TRC, we're doing a whole bunch of different specials for that month. So I'd say look for it sometime, maybe the beginning of November.
Yeah.
We'll definitely try and get our commentary out then. That way.
While you're waiting for us to get the commentary, don't forget to check out the Rogue One commentary we did almost immediately after it released.
Yeah, it's on the remotecontrol.com, so that's the remote CNTRL.com. You can find it there. Just go to the TRC episodes link or option on that. Click there and you'll see it right there. Or you can find it on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play, and soon to be Stitcher. So you can find it all there.
But yeah, make sure you check us out. We work hard now. We work real hard.
Yeah, we got some cool things coming up down the pipeline here. So stay tuned, and we promise, the more that you guys watch, listen, and everything like that with our stuff, the more content we're going to be able to bring out. This is not just for us. While we love talking Star Wars and love Star Wars, we want to bring this stuff to you guys as well. And I know there's a whole bunch of other Star Wars podcasts out there, but we want you to stop by every week and talk to us and listen to us because it's a lot of fun, and we get excited about everything.
We're just two guys watching films.
Exactly. So.
But you have anything else to add, Bob?
No, I think that's
nothing
about it.
else. We touched on everything you wanted to touch on.
Yep.
Well, that's good. I've been your host, Colton, and this has been Bob.
Hey, see you guys.
And may the Force be with you guys.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Hello there. Come here, my little friend. Don't be afraid.
Away with your weapon. I mean you no harm.
Kill him. Kill him now.
Do it.
You failed me. I am a Jedi, like my father was.
Pew pew.